Well, hello again, everybody. Brian Wayne here, your regular host of the Cheers to Comics podcast, which you could find twice a week on Spotify and iTunes and anywhere else you could catch a podcast. If you listen to that, then you know that I read a lot of books. Or if you're already a subscriber to the channel, and if you're not, do so now. Then you know I take home a lot of books, and it's about time. It's about time that I start really talking about my favorites. It's really hard in a sea of just amazingness to pick out, what the cream of the crop really is. And I know not everybody has the budget to go through and pick up 50 books a week. So I'm going to do my best to make this just a little bit easier for you by talking about my top 5. And we're going to start with X-Men number 19. With Jonathan Hickman, Mamas Assar, and Sonny Go. Now, I may be a little bit biased here because it's a heavily... we're talking about X-23 quite a bit. And since the whole Hickman thing, there hasn't been a whole lot of X-23 talk. So she's a part of a three-piece team. We've got, who is it? Cinch, X-23, and Darwin. And their whole job is they've got a mission within the vault. There's some frickery going on in the vault, and they need some regenerative folk to be able to conquer this. Time is all messed up within the vault, and if you want to know more about all that, I'm not going to go into full detail. I'm going to try to make these videos quick, so just pick up X-Men number 19. Find out for yourself. I don't think that there's a whole lot of pre-reading material going into this. I think this is the beginning of a new arc. So, just as a standalone issue, awesome. Number 4 is going to be Silk. This new Silk relaunch, I went into it a little skeptical. I know that they just announced the Sony, Amazon Prime live-action series. Now, my bet is they are going to use some, if not a lot, of source material from this run. I think that everybody's probably working together very well as far as the movie side and the comic side to, make everything mesh up. Granted, yes, there's still other Silk source material for them to play off of, but with that being said, I think this is a book that, granted, it may not be heating up big time now in the speculation market. I think that, I think it's just a matter of time. I really do. So... might not be a bad idea to pick up a few extra copies, but as far as a read goes, I found it to be fascinating. I did. I like the read. I think it sets up the villain very nicely. What's the villain's name here? Oh, shoot, I forget. A Yishi something, I believe. But she just kind of shows up in the last couple pages. We get a little bit of what she's about, and... yeah, I like the setup here. I do. I think this is going to be a fun series with a lot of action. I think it's going to be a combination of a lot of things, really. I think this is going just to be a solid run for a 5-issue miniseries. Number 3 on my list. From SourcePoint, we've got Colt to Dracula. Now, I have been going on about this book for quite some time. I'm a big fan of Rich Davis. He's been on the podcast, so go through and... scroll a little bit. It was a little while ago. This book has been through the runner. It broke records through Second Sight Publishing, and then it was never released through Second Sight, and then was picked up through SourcePoint, and now it's already been optioned for a movie. And I tell you what, it's a quick read. It starts out really, really heavy. Don't get me wrong. There's lots of gore and violence and all types of stuff in this book. It's an adult book for sure. But as far as the explanation as to what happens, it really, really ramps up at the end. So it's oh man, this is good stuff, people. This is good stuff. So once again, a book that I do speculate on as well. I picked up a few copies. I have just about every variant there is out there that can be ordered. To my knowledge, if I'm missing one, I'll find it. But this is a book I have a lot of faith in. There's not a buttload of retailer exclusives on it, so the market isn't going to be saturated and overwhelmed with the retailer exclusives, which can oftentimes, leave to question which one of these is going to be valuable on a key book. And I say a key book with confidence. So, yeah. Number 3, Colt of Dracula, Rich Davis, and I'm sorry, I forgot to Henry Martinez. Amazing art. Number 2. Power Rangers Unlimited Heir to Darkness. Oh man, L.L. McKinney, Ragazzoni, what was it? Simon Ragazzoni, and Igor Monti. Amazing. An amazing look back at Astronema and her early days. This is the Astronema origin story, is what this is. You know, her and Ecliptor being her trainer, her mentor. It really is amazing stuff. I am loving the Power Rangers universe right now. I don't think there's been a point it's been bad since I jumped on, which was Shattered Grid. But it's just this arc makes everything else look almost amateur. You know, I don't know, man. I'm loving this new reboot and all these mini stories that are coming out. This whole Heir to Darkness thing. I'm excited for Astronema. I want to see more Ecliptor. So that is why Power Rangers makes my number deuce. But the big one for me, and if you follow the podcaster at all, and you know my style, my taste, it's probably no surprise at all that Daniel Warren Johnson's Beta Ray Bill is my number one pick of the week because, well, it's Daniel Warren Johnson doing Beta Ray Bill. And bias aside, the story in itself is amazing. It's got what you need, man, and it shows a different side of Beta Ray Bill that I'm really used to seeing. You know, it's once again Daniel Warren Johnson doing his heartstring pulling, man. It's what he does. It's in such the most metal way too. I cannot. We've got there's a certain panel in here that just it really got me. Like I studied the hell out of it, like I do with all of his stuff. You know, we get Fin Fang Foom fighting in here, and it's amazing. And Thor shows up and causes some feelings for Beta Ray Bill. But more than anything, it's the Lady Sif stuff, because you know he and Lady Sif have been trying to bump uglies lately, and when Sif finds out that he can't turn away from his horse-facedness because he no longer has Stormbreaker, and he's just standing there naked, all horse faces, and she's not feeling it. That right there, that is in the most comic book way of just showing some real emotion. And you know, it's showing, you know, like body shaming, I guess. That may, I don't know if that's what his thing was. You know, Daniel Warren Johnson's motive was on doing this, but more, it's just the emotion that comes with that panel alone. And there's still many more panels throughout this book, whether the emotion be just metal badassness or just a deeper look into Beta Ray Bill's psyche. It's amazing. So this is why Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer, probably my favorite colorist working right now, takes number one for my near mint, gem mint pick of the week. So there you go. More books to come. I'll be talking about more books on this channel. You know, tune into the podcast though if you want to hear me talk to the creators of these books. I've got some great interviews lined up, so those launch on Monday, and then on Friday we've got Pull List Priorities, where I talk about all of the books on the final order cutoffs. So make sure if you're a speculator you want to check that out. Well, you know, I'll talk about what's coming out on New Comic Book Day as well. So as you're on your way to pick up your pull list, you be reminded of what tasty treats are in store for you. Or if you miss something, maybe you have the opportunity to pick it up off the shelf. So there you go. There you go. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. I will talk to you next time I feel like talking about comics. Cheers.